Hello and welcome to another Energetic Arts live stream. My name is Brett Anderson. With me, as usual, is Andy Dennis, ordained monk and entrepreneur. And today is the first day back after my addition to my family, so I'm a little bit in adjustment mode. So today,
congratulations,
run with it.
Congratulations! Big round of applause.
Thank you.
You made a smaller version of yourself.
The world is never going to be the same, or at least my world, and it's a good thing. So, thanks, Andy.
Why don't you give us a quick? I'm sure everyone's dying to hear. You're trying to hand it over to me. I've had nothing interesting, right? I've had nothing going on. I've been, you got to give us a little brief.
Okay. So it's 2 weeks today. The birth went really well. We had a big adjustment period in the hospital, in the ward, but with baby boot camp. But we're through that now. We're back home. Things started to get much easier getting back home. Molly's been a great little girl, great baby. She's feeding, she's pooping, she's sleeping, everything's working. Mum's doing amazing. She's just brilliant. And I'm finally catching up on some sleep, and it's great. I'm loving it. I'm having a great time.
Well, I'm glad you've traded this hour or so that you could be sleeping and spend it with me and anyone else that happens to come across us this evening. So
yeah,
big congrats, big welcome to the world to I'm sorry, I just forgot her name. It slipped my mind.
Molly Joy Anderson. Yeah,
welcome Molly Joy Anderson to the party. She's here. It took her took her lifetimes to get here. But here she is.
Exactly. And you know what? And when you look at her, I know this is cliche, but man, sometimes when I look at her, I'm like, okay, I think she's going to teach me a few things here. So yeah, it's been good. So I don't fluff it up too much, because the logic part of my brain, I've been able to do math for over a week and a half, and time management very well. So Andy, I'm going to charge you with the lead. And,
okay, cool.
I've just put the link in the comments to anyone who wants to join the chat on the live stream.
Please do. Please,
without further ado,
help us get through this together. I've had a long week myself, but nothing like yours. So one of the things I thought was interesting to note, because you said you don't know math, you're going to have to relearn all of math now, apparently, and refer to everything in months, right? It will be your baby will never be 1. It will be 12 months, and it won't be 1.5. It will be 18 months old. So this is one of the things I've noticed about parents is, everything becomes so special that every month is a celebration, or weeks, right? It starts with weeks, and then eventually is
it's like 2 weeks today. It's okay. We're calculating time that way now. Okay.
So just sometimes as a joke, when people meet me with my dog, my child, right, and I'll be on the beach and they'll say, "Oh yeah, she's cute. She looks like a puppy. How old is she?" I'll say 37 weeks. I don't know. She's does an approximate, but just so they go, "Oh, okay, yeah." I'm like, "Yeah, like 3 and a bit." Yeah. So anyhow, that's my dad joke.
Yeah, I've been working on those too. Yeah.
Well, you already had those nailed for ages. You've been practicing, so you're going to do great.
Thank you.
So yeah, look, we haven't really got too much prepared as usual. We haven't done any pre-gaming for this conversation specifically, But we have been working quite hard behind the scenes on big plans, big life-changing stuff, plans so huge that we'll probably never achieve them. That's how big they are, right? And that's what you have to do, right? You have to, it's like to borrow a page out of the, Buddhist philosophy. You promise to take care of all living things forever, for all lifetimes, which we set this big goal knowing that in this lifetime we may not achieve it, but goddamn, we're going to try. So Brad and I have actually, I've surprised myself in how much work we've been able to accomplish together in the weeks leading up to your child being born. We've actually been strategically planning really about how we, together with our diverse backgrounds, skill sets, come to this community and give. Really, is how can we give, and how can we knit eyebrows with everyone out there that's a part of this community. And when I say knit eyebrows, I mean really connect deeper with everyone beyond just our internet friendships that exist, and how we can start to develop a heart-to-heart connection with each other and grow together and learn from each other, and see what we can achieve as a connected community. So it's sort of, I guess, the way that we kind of look at it is we look around when we kind of talk about, well, what should we do? Where should we go next? So we did some really fun visualizations about the future and where we could get to, and what we think that is unachievable but possibly achievable if we're all in this together, and where we can get to. And some of the stuff is, in my mind, really exciting, and it's what I would call the bleeding edge of evolution. It's on the absolute precipice of the unfolding of the universe, and we want to do that closer with everyone. So maybe I thought what might be really good was share a little bit about some of the stuff we've come up with. It's going to be our kind of guiding light. It's going to be our North Star that we will, over this journey of the energetic arts community, we'll look and go, oh yeah, that's what we're doing. This is where we're headed. So we spent a lot of time, multiple meetings and hours going through a lot of our own personal visions, what we wanted to achieve together collectively, and then imagined, based on what we know about of you, where we could all go together. So maybe I'll just break it down into a couple of simple things. Well, they sound simple, but this was a lot of thought, heart, and emotion went into doing this. So our vision as this community and this group of people, and that we see right now, is just that we're the very top of the snowball rolling down the hill, right? And the way we imagine is as we go, we're going to pick up more and more people that are vibrating on the same frequency, or that are attracted to the frequency and go, we want to be vibrating right along with there. And we come together like a song where everyone brings their own, special sauce to it. So to kind of succinctly put it into a few words, our vision is to embody the unlimited through community and conscious connection. So this is, again, to embody the unlimited. So when we say embody, we've talked numerous times about, stuff around like spiritual experiences, around, wealth creation, different things like this. And to not just have this being a thought in our mind or a scribble in our journal or a note in a diary, but to truly embody this. So for this to become who we are ourselves and then collectively as a group. So to embody the unlimited. So to kind of break that down, this is like what we think is unachievable, or what the universe has made achievable, but we're just not aware of it yet. So embody the unlimited through community and conscious connection. So one of the beautiful things about the internet and internet communities is the ability for all of us to kind of come together, to share, to be on Facebook, to comment, to kind of, laugh about jokes back and forth, and kind of be in that sort of meme, like memosphere, which the internet has sort of become. But part of what we want to do is go, okay, next level of that, community and conscious connection. What that means is we're going to have to now break through just the comment section with each other and really come together. Would be amazing, would be a meetup in real life. But if we can't do that, at least some behind closed doors online, right? In rooms like this where we can all actually connect and be a little bit more consciously connected. So that's our big vision, to embody the unlimited through community and conscious connection. So that's when Brett and I, 10 years from now, stand at the top of the mountain and we look out and say, aha. And we look around and we have everyone there with us that's come on this journey. And we look and we go, we've done it. We truly have embodied the unlimited. And it's through this community and conscious connection. So that's our guiding light. Now, to some people, that might sound a little bit out there and a little bit woo-woo, and it should, because this is, as I said, we're not trying to define exactly in where this could go, because it's going to take everybody. It's going to take all of us together to get there. But our next layer of that is our mission. So the thing that we're going to be working tirelessly on and towards, and getting hopefully contribution from everyone else, and it becomes a mutual, heart-to-heart connection, is our mission being to provide tools and support for students seeking mastery in all aspects of life. So our mission is that we provide tools and support for students seeking mastery in all aspects of life. So to me, that's a mission to get excited about. To me, I go, oh, that's part of how I want to spend my day, my time. And I guess what we're hoping is that there's going to be people out there in our group, in our community, and our widening, hopefully, community, that go, yes, I want to become a master of parts of myself. I want to share my mastery with other people who want to attain and achieve. It is a little bit about that, and also to, find acceptance and gratefulness, and the spirit of giving. Okay, that's hopefully a sum up of where we want to go with this great project that is the energetic arts community. So just to recap, embody the unlimited through community and conscious connection. So that's all of us waking up, growing up, cleaning up, showing up together as the greatest version of ourselves that we can be, and as the collective that we can be. And when I say greatest, I want to just clarify that with a footnote. It isn't about great, like standing up like I'm the greatest. greatness for me really is it's a humble thing. So it's like along this journey, I think if we achieve it, what we're going to have is a community of people who are more open-hearted and grateful and humble than they were before they came together. So part of the way, and and when we say providing tools and support for students seeking mastery in all aspects of life, we're talking about everything from meditation, visualization, skills on how to get fit, lose body weight, if that's part of what one of your goals is, because that's probably a sign of what's happening inside of your body if you're eating healthy and consciously and exercising correctly. Learning movements that not only move energy through your body, but that make your heart tick better, make you physically fitter. There's going to be stuff that we're going to dive so deep into around how to consciously create wealth. So that's whether that's you becoming an entrepreneur or you taking a great vision that you have for something and then turning that into a reality by following a very not strict, but a very set out, path on how to do that, on how to go from, I want to change the world, I have a great idea, and I think it should become a reality. Okay, how do we take that from a reality and take you through a process and get yourself financial freedom, find wealth? And by the way, when we say that, this isn't like, oh, we're going to show you these great get rich quick schemes. It's like, we're going to show you clearly all the hard work that it's going to take for you to get woken up, for you to grow up. None of this is about quick fixes. None of it's about the wonder drug or what. This is about how do we now in 2021, coming up on 2022, take advantage of the fact that not too hard to go out there and find the answers to most of the questions that are keeping us up at night. Yeah, whether it's how do I pay the bills, how do I communicate better with my loved ones or my boss or my staff, all of that stuff is out there. And not to say that we know everything, because we certainly don't, but collectively we have a great set of skills. And then what we have is a community of people around us that we want to introduce to everyone that's interested along the way. So neither of us claim to be experts on the whole toolbox, but we have a set of skills. We want to share them. We want to bring other people with their set of skills to come and share them. And we want to level up everybody together. And I won't fully get into deeply about all of our values that we have crafted. We, again, spent painstaking hours going through with each other, and I'm just seeing that there's comments there. That's cool.
Do you want to have a look at it now?
As Elon Musk said, we already are superhumans through internet. It's a superpower to talk live from different continents, share information. 100%, Elena. Yep, it exactly. So it's like, here's one tool that we have in our toolbox is this. Elena and I can connect from, I don't know where she is. Maybe say where you're from, Elena. So that's one of these great tools. But then we have all of these other tools that have existed, right? That we want to really do a deep dive on in workshops with you guys. Meditation tools, visualization, financial tools. As I said, health and fitness stuff, shadow work, right? What we want to do is Europe, Holland. Freaking welcome from Europe and Holland, Elena. Great to have you.
Other side of the world. Beautiful.
Yeah. So what happens when a Canadian, an Aussie, and what do you call someone from Holland?
I'm not sure.
Dutch, right?
Dutch. Yeah.
Yeah, and a Dutchie get into a room together. Well, let's find that out. Anyhow, so that's one of the, so this is what we've been working on painstakingly. And Dutch. So I only say painstakingly because it was actually a lot of fun, but also it was in Brett's lead up to having a kid, and I'm here, trying to like push him into like focusing on something else. So I really appreciate, Brett, the time we've spent over the last couple of weeks to kind of hone in on what I think is a really powerful vision and mission that we plan to unfold over the coming years. Now, Elena has a great bit of advice here. She says, you should make a room on Clubhouse to reach more people. Well, we have
Funny you should say that.
Yeah, funny you should say that. We've got a whole strategic plan about how to, the funny thing is, selfishly, what it's really about, what we joked about, was it's like we actually just want to suck as much as we can from all y'all. You know what I mean? So we've like made a ruse like that we're going to be here like providing all of this great tools, but really we want to be also the biggest beneficiaries of everybody out there and get what they know, the life experiences they've had. This for us, I think, is probably a culmination of a lot of our life's work, our own spiritual journeys. I'll let Brett speak in a moment, but for me personally, my kind of journeys with entrepreneurship, business, and then my own spiritual journey through meditation, and then becoming a pretty serious Buddhist, and kind of this stuff's all sort of like coming together for me, like in my life now. And it's like, okay, you're clear now on what you're doing here. Now let's explode it, right? You kind of you kind of build up, and everything kind of boils under the surface, and you kind of a big part for me with what we want to do, like with the tools and the workshops and everything we're going to be rolling out, is it kind of all is about ending suffering. Like if you kind of really simplify it, it's like we want to end suffering. We want to, and when I say suffering, I mean stress. Like we want to like go through systematically the different parts of ourselves and the stress that comes up in our health, our fitness, our finances, our own deep, like the stuff deep inside us that as we start to clear up like a lot of the stuff on the surface, and we make room for ourselves to introspect, and we find the more subtler waves going inside us that we're really blessed to be able to have the opportunity to look at in this life, because most people don't get that. Most people are busy trying to find shelter, find food, stay alive, avoid the tyrannical government that's trying. And by the way, I'm not referring to either Australia or America in there. I mean, like real tyrannical governments. These ones are just the people that we've actually elected that aren't doing the greatest job that they could do. So, I mean, the people out there who are really having deep suffering, that they, don't get to do this stuff. So because we're so lucky, because we're privileged, I'm going to acknowledge my privilege right in front and center, and go, super privileged white person that was born lucky, and that keeps having a mixture of great luck and right place, right time, that's allowed us to kind of go, to really be at the point kind of collectively as well between Brett and I to go, okay, here we are. Like, what are we going to do with this? Like, do you just go and watch the sunset and drink pina coladas? Yeah, I mean, that's a part of it, but also, we still got a lot of time here, and we think that a journey, a big party ball of humans that's rolling through it and dealing with all these aspects of our life as you know what, when I think about it, it kind of sounds like we're starting a cult, but that's not it. It isn't that. It's not like
the robes are in the merchandise store. Get your robe now, and your pendant and slippers. Don't forget the slippers.
I'm already
really
a cult,
important.
I already have a robe in my closet, so I don't need another one. This one, the one I'm in, is enough.
Fine.
No, this is about being completely open to all types of people with their own ideas. There's a non. Oh, I shouldn't say it's non-judgmental, because a part of waking up and growing up is a level of discernment. So there's obviously things that we're not going to let fly in our community, but most of them, it won't be that there's a set of rules or anything like that. It's that people come with an open heart and with the right attitude, and as weeds pop up, we collectively on our journey point them out and say, hey, is that something that we want to let grow here, or do we could we plant a flower there instead? So that's, I guess, my sort of intro to what we've been doing kind of behind the scenes while we haven't been here chatting with you guys. So Brent, have you got any thoughts, or how kind of you view where we've kind of come to with this?
Yeah. Well, I know that, a lot of the process we've been doing is stuff we're going to be talking about in these workshops that we're going to be putting on soon. And I think it was good that we put ourselves through that process first as the example, because this is all about being an exemplar, right? It's not about this is the doctrine and this is the way. It's more like, okay, this is stuff we've gleaned over a long period of time. We've tried and tested a lot of it. Some is experimental, but you'll know that before we start playing with it, if it is. Most of it is tried, tested, and proven, at least on our level. And we're going to implement it and also be the students of that process, and kind of be an exemplar of what it is to be a good student of that process. Because, I mean, Andy, you've been in business a long time, so have I. You mentioned how we're quite lucky with the privilege that we have. And it's like, okay, well, we could just sit back and sort of chill out and cruise along. But, with what's the saying, with great power comes great responsibility. And you don't want to just leave that knowledge and ability secret. You want to be able to impart it, but it's not just enough to teach it. You've got to sort of lead the way and show people how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, going through that process again is which I don't know if many people know this, but energetic arts was born basically in 2007, I think. Became official in 2010 as a business, and it started on the ground level. And while that has been idling in the background and this community's been growing, I've started other companies and built those and had all the trials and tribulations and the ups and downs of that, and have quite a successful company outside of energetic arts as well. So that's on the rubber meets the road part. But to get to the level of success that I have, and to do it in the way that I've chosen to do it, because there are many ways to get there. There's plenty of stories about ways to get there quicker, and maybe cut corners, and maybe compromise on certain values and ideals. But the way that I've gotten there, and I see that's reflected in the way you've gotten to where you are too, is that we want to do it in the way that's most good, that serves the most people, that we feel good about, waking up, and that we're being part of a world that we want to participate in, not just carve out our little private nook over in the corner and outside the gated community. Whatever happens. It's kind of like, no, we want to contribute and pass on that knowledge and awareness and experience from that level, that frequency that we're at, that everyone can participate in. It's like there's plenty of room at the top of this mountain, and it's not impossible to get there. It's not easy, but it's doable for everybody. It's just a matter of being a bit focused, and part of the hard part for me, at least, and I'm sure you're the same, is that a lot of those things, it was a solo act, or there wasn't as much support as there could have been, only because of the mindset of our society at the moment. And if we as a community can be there to hold space and to support each other and to share that knowledge, experience, and to glean, it's a bit like the farmer's market. I come with my apples, you come with your oranges, someone comes with their bananas, and there's always a surplus, and everyone gets a bit of everything, and we all get a bit of the cornucopia. Then I think it's going to be accessible and a lot easier for a lot more people to partake and to pop up to that new level of consciousness, where survival isn't such a monkey on the back, or the wolf at the door, so to speak. And we can start to experience what life's really about, for ourselves. And then when we're in a good position, like you said, when we're healthy, when we have a bit of wealth, when our relationships are good, when our internal energy, emotions, thoughts, and our external are in alignment, then we can start to contribute to everybody else. And the more people that do that, the better things get for everybody, and the quicker we all level up in the spiral. And so just to finalize, thank you. Just to put the cherry on top. You're right. It was sort of it took a lot more energy and focus to do the mission statement and the values and beliefs for energetic arts, but I'm so glad we did it, because it's been the seeds have been planted and nurtured for a long time, and I've really been waiting as patiently as I can for them to sprout through. And I'm just so glad that it all lined up with the birth of my daughter, because she's going to grow up within that environment and not know any different. And for me, that's a dream come true. That's me manifesting in a huge way. So, thanks, Andy, so much for pushing me to get that done, because it's one thing to have it all in your head and go, well, I know this, but it's a whole nother thing to actualize it and to put it out there so other people can witness it, observe it, and partake and contribute and benefit from the rewards of all that as a community.
Too good. And that's really what the way you said that is like, it's one thing to have it here. It's like chatting with a friend recently who's, trying to start a business, and he's got this really great idea, and I kind of had a frank discussion with him, right? I said, great ideas are a dime a dozen, man. There's people have great ideas before they get out of bed in the morning, and like while they're in the shower, they could have a dozen. But then to execute it takes mostly what it takes is support, right? It takes others, right? We get caught up in this like self-made thing so much in like all aspects of our life, where really we are actually just completely reliant on everyone else to help us get there, right? And so I guess part of the vision, yeah, just to kind of keep clarifying, we're just going to keep clarifying over and over, is the whole way through, is really that it's like finding that support. Firstly, like uncovering where the support's required, and then finding the tool that's necessary, finding the medicine, right? So, and it's again, to reiterate, it's not about claiming or having the medicine or the cure for every situation, but it's like the power of a group is that if I don't, then you might, and she might, or he might, and then if not, then we're all clever enough that if the answer's out there, we can get it, and we can collectively um, discern what's the good medicine, to discern what's the best way to handle these different situations, or like what, it's like a lot of the stuff when we're talking about entrepreneurship or about like wealth creation, etc. That's going to be about going, well, okay, there's all these seeds out there, well, but when do you plant this one, and then how much sunlight does it need? It's like, if you get given a garden and a bunch of seeds, well, good luck trying to figure out at what time to plant them, and what works well with what. And when we talk about this stuff, especially around like building a business, well, it's about getting the garden laid out properly firstly, and then you got to go out there and do the work and toe the field and water the plants and add the fertilizer, and if you have guides along the way for that, then it makes it a heck of a lot easier than going out there and trying to figure it out on your own, making mistakes. Or, well, even experts, full experts, continue to make mistakes every day. But it's like with the pool of knowledge and with a framework that has worked over and over and over for multiple organizations or people, you kind of go, well, we know not to try and plant oranges in the winter, or maybe you do. I'm not sure because I'm not an orange farmer. But it's about, having that knowledge that we can make good decisions and get ourselves set up for success. No guaranteed success ever, but taking the right steps and, making the right moves to do everything you can do in the time that you're doing it, so that you're not wasting days, months, years. The worst is when you've spent like, it's like, think about in martial arts when you've been in jiu-jitsu doing a move over and over and over, trying to make it work, and then like someone comes along and just goes, no, you just go like this, you put your hand there and you do that, and you're like looking around going, I've been trying to do this for 18 months. If I had known that 18 months ago, how far further along on my journey would I be? So it's really about the dojo of life, right? So we're quite excited collectively. And what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 5-hour workshops. Well,
Sorry about that. We just had a dropout.
No worries, we're back.
I hope so. I think so.
Yeah, cool.
So yeah, it's true
Yeah,
that with the martial arts metaphor, it's like that one little tweak makes all the difference in the technique. But the other side of it is the talks you have in the locker room when you're thinking about quitting or you're going through problems that are outside the gym, and your partners, your teammates, just a bit of conversation here and there, a little tip, and often it's like, you think you're going through all this alone. It might have nothing to do with your business. You might have that all handled. It might be something at home, or just how you feel you're not totally present or showing up in life in the way you want to, and people can just go, hey, I was there. I know how to get through that, and it's not as big deal as you think it might be. Or hey, you don't need to listen to all that. You know what you're doing. Just keep doing what you're doing. It'll all come together.
yeah,
And just to see down the
sometimes,
road a little bit, to borrow that belief of somebody else.
yeah, and sometimes like a swift slap to go, no, you've got it totally wrong.
You still.
Have I lost you there, mate?
Sorry, I missed that last bit. Slip slap.
Yeah, I said, or sometimes it's just like a quick slap just to say, nah, what are you doing?
Snap out of it.
You got it all wrong. Like a loved one, not like a violent, like awful one. Yeah. So what I was going to say is
just to clarify once again.
Yeah. So part of what we want to do then is we've worked out a 5-hour workshop that we want to do. We want to do two of them separately, the same one twice, because we only want to have a small group to do it, so we can all get as much as we can about, with the collective and everyone's contributing. So we thought about having 2 different dates, 2 different times. Are you still there, Brett, or have I lost you?
Sorry, guys. I think we're still having some trouble here. Apologies once again.
Back.
think we're good now. I think we should be okay.
Got a solid connection.
Well, let's hope so. Everyone's focused on a solid connection for the remainder of this broadcast. Sorry, Andy, where were we?
Well, what we want to do is have two separate but the same 5-hour workshops, two different time slots with a max of 8 people in each. So we can start to dive into some of the stuff we've been discussing as a collective, as a group. I feel like the connection, you're about to drop out again, are you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right when we're trying to give the meat out. Okay.
Well, are you still there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's bouncing in and out, so it's a little disrupted at the moment.